welcome to Monkey Broadcast, our monthly review and discussion show with me, the Jonin Monkey.
And me, Sven the Crusader. Hello, fellow watchers.
Okay, so here we are in the month of March, and of course it's only a matter of time now before spring begins. Has the weather changed in your area at all, Sven?
Actually, yes. We might actually have a spring this year instead of 2 seasons, winter and July.
Hooray! Well, over here it's kind of got a strange yin-yang effect in that we have sunshine, but it's still utterly freezing. We have sunshine all day, frost at night. I have no idea how that works.
That's pretty much the same here. It's sunshine, but if I open my window, in about 2 seconds flat, I'm about as warm as an Eskimo's nose hairs.
Oh. Well, yeah, enough about the climate where we live.
Yeah, we don't make these broadcasts just to talk about the local weather.
Yep, yeah. We do it to talk about other things, the first of which being the answers to your questions in...
Q&A!
Alrighty, as we've said before, this is the place where we answer questions sent to us by all of our Phantom subscribers. And just like last time, the audience has been very generous and we've got over 20 questions. However, since me and Sven do have some other stuff we want to talk about as well, some of these questions will be going through rapid fire, so sorry we don't take time to construct an essay for all of them, but trust us, we don't want to be here all day.
Yeah, not like last time whenever we spent 3/4 of the broadcast on questions and answers. Sorry, people, if we make your question an anticlimax.
Yeah, okay. This question is from Naked Sonic. Interesting image. And his first question is...
Who is your favorite Pokemon and why?
That's a good question, considering there's more than 600 now, and there were 493. Well-memorized number, trust me. Before that, so... this is gonna be a choice.
Yeah, although thankfully we're in the right mood to think about it, just to drop a little hint of what we'll be reviewing later on. To be honest, there are a lot of Pokemon I like, in fact, usually a lot of my squads tend to be based around favorite Pokemon ones. Just to list off a few, Charizard, Raichu, Blazing King, Kyogre, Tropius, Torterra, but the one Pokemon I would have to say has consistently remained my favorite, and the one I keep using in my squads if it's feasible, is Sandslash. I don't know why, I just find that Pokemon to be utterly badass. Maybe it's just the simplicity of its design or just the general aura it has, I don't know. Point is, it's awesome.
I can understand that. It's a sand...
Porcupine, I think.
Yeah, let's just go with that. It's a sand porcupine with spikes that look like shonen anime hair. What's not to like?
True. Can you list some of your favorites, Sven?
Well, I would be here forever and a day if I tried to list a list of my favorites, so I'm just gonna go with one that I really can't go wrong with. Simply, A, for the nostalgia factor, B, it has one of my favorite moves of all time, and C, it's just generally good. Sceptile, my first ever 3rd level evolution in Pokemon Sapphire, Pokemon Emerald. I tried to get one in Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Platinum, and if I can help it, I'm going to get one in Pokemon Black.
Well, yeah, you can't really go wrong with Sceptile. It is a pretty powerful Pokemon.
Yeah, pro tip, Leaf Blade solo entire game, FYI.
I remember from my now defunct old grass playthrough, Eco and Growball were pretty powerful, so...
Yeah, you really just can't go wrong with Sceptile, except for whenever you get to the bloody fire gym.
Actually, that's a point. I never did get round to that gym, although, interestingly, you can teach it both Earthquake and Rock Tomb, so that does help a lot.
Yeah, problem is I never found either of... Oh, I had Rock Tomb. But I was a numpty and forgot to teach it.
Oh dear. But yeah, Sceptile and Sandslash is the pretty simple answer to that question. Okay, Naked Sonic's second question.
Will Sven ever get his own picture like yours?
That depends if I'm feeling creative.
Yeah, I should sort of tell you a funny story. It was never intended like this. What happened was, when I decided I was going to make this broadcast and I was going to sort of release it in this format, with images rather than just plain old audio, I contacted Sven and said, okay, look, I plan to do these images, what should I use as an avatar? His answer was he never really thought about it, so I thought, well, okay, I'll just put this placeholder thing to use as the avatar in the meantime until Sven can figure something. The unfortunate thing is, it's kind of stuck now.
That's to say the least. I can count about 3 or 4 sites now. It's my official avatar.
Yeah, that is actually true. If you find Sven the Crusader on Voice Actor Alliance, that is his picture.
Yeah, or on Neoseeker, or on Smack Jeeves, or on Shenanigans.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a simplistic design, and what some could argue it's not very expressive, apart from that one face I put in a while back. But it works for what I can do.
I still love that expression, man.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people seem to like it, but I remember one person cheered when they saw you had the expression.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I could remember whose name that was. I'd give them a free shout out here, but
I think it was
Never mind.
GameCat16. So.
Oh yeah, it was. I appreciate your enthusiasm for my WTF face there, GameCat.
And speaking of which,
This question is from GameCat16, and he asks,
If you were the main villain in any game, manga, or movie, what would your name be? What kind of powers would you have? And what would your motives and master plan be?
oh wow, I wondered before this if were we going to get any more of those really in-depth, interesting questions like the DK's Assassin one and the what would you do to your least favorite characters? Turns out they were coming faster than I thought.
oh yes. I think probably a hard one would be deciding sort of like which game, manga or movie you'd be, but I guess I actually had a think about this. I'll just go first to give Sven some more thinking time. I guess one thing that sort of came to my head is fighting game villains. I enjoy playing fighting games. I am kind of a sucker for the fighting game plot. Even if they don't make any sense or the characters are just kind of ridiculous or blow things out of proportion, I always just love fighting games. I always love it when certain characters interact. So I wouldn't want to be someone like Bison who used psychic powers. It would just be like pure martial arts skill with the energy attack thrown in, because nearly every fighting game needs one of those, let's be honest. Preferably it'd be something that would come with an incredibly hammy name. You could just scream out like Thunder Crusher or something like that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, like Blaze Blue.
Oh yes. Or something like Geek These. One of my favorite attacks of his is just Raging Storm, where he just like yells and then a big cyclone comes.
Yeah, that would be badass.
As for the sort of name and master plan and motives as well, kind of think of it. Name, I had to think some of that one, but something simple and to the point, kind of like Geese, but not, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I got it at least.
Yeah, and as for motives, well, generally the motives of almost every single fighting game villain is pretty much to just show everyone that they're the stronger ones.
Pretty much.
And just to be sure that you're an arrogant bastard, but okay.
Yeah, you can't forget that.
That is true. But yeah, that's generally all I can think of, so Sven.
Oh wow, I didn't see this question in advance, so I didn't have any time to prepare for this. For the game field, the sort of game I'd love to be a villain in is the Tales of Series RPG type.
Ah.
Because there's just so many possibilities as to what you could be. I mean, seriously, what haven't they done? Thing is, that's about as far as it goes, because like I said, I haven't really thought this far.
That's fair enough. I mean, there are actually a lot of creative tales of villains. There's a series where I'll be showing just how creative they get. Just as long as you don't end up like Deos, that would be okay, because Deos is the one Tales of villain I have issues with, I'll be honest.
I may have to look into how that goes after we're done here. But
Then.
yeah, that's the game field. In the manga field, I'm just gonna throw this image out for you. I'd want to be in Bleach, and I'd want to be a villain capable of undermining Aizen and showing him how villainy is done.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. Although, just on a side note, that's only villainy in sort of the manner, not power, right? Because otherwise this could be gone.
Oh yeah, of course. I just want to be someone who, I'm just gonna say it, outsmarts him.
Oh
just
yeah.
Just to show him that he's not so big. He's just an annoying little prick with lots of powers.
Yeah, I would definitely say that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's for, killing off or leading to the deaths of every character I ever cared for in that series.
Yeah, that's definitely a good goal to aim for.
Yeah, so, not the most essay-tastic answer, but hey, it'll do.
Rightio, next question comes from Trainman666, and he asks,
My question is, which of the Spyro incarnations is your favorite and why? Classic, A Hero's Tale, Legend of Spyro, Young, or Legend of Spyro the Dragon Teenager?
Okay, to answer the first part of that question, I know almost nothing about Spyro. I'm sorry, it's one of the games on a long list I need to get round to either playing or watching for myself. The only experience I had is the first level of the classic Spyro and the first cutscene of, I think it's Spyro Legends, the one with Elijah Wood, but that's honestly about it.
Well, luckily for us, I have played Spyro extensively, and I can say, it's a pretty hard choice, actually. Let me think. This might take a while. Oh, sod it. Spyro Classic. It may just be nostalgia on my part, but there's a charm in the original series that none of the series afterwards ever successfully replicated. And furthermore, I've watched and read a bit about the later series, and my god, did they have to add such a hammy, angsty plot?
Right, I'm just going to assume the newer versions aren't your cup of tea then. You might be able to answer the second part of the question, which is...
Also, who do you think is the best match for Spyro? Cinder from Legend of Spyro, Ember from A Hero's Tale, or Elora from Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage?
Okay, I never actually thought of that extensively. Let me just explain that I played this game a long time ago before I was ever into story. So, let's just go with the one from the classic series.
Okay.
Because the classic series for the win.
Okay. Oh, the final one, this one I can answer a bit of now.
What is your thoughts on the new look for Skylanders, and what are your thoughts of the game in general?
For those of you who don't know what he's talking about, Spyro Skylanders is another new incarnation that's just been announced recently for the 3DS.
Oh, yeah, I think I may have seen that.
To be honest, very little has been seen about the game. I've only seen the trailer, but in terms of the style, new look of the characters and everything, I don't mind that much. It's kind of got a slightly cheesy, cartoony feel to it, but yeah, that probably works with Spyro. As for the concept of the game, I'm a bit iffy, to be honest, because, okay, I should explain two things. First of all, the concept is that it's a traditional platform adventure, except that there are these action figures of like different characters, which you can then buy separately in the store, and they'll have a small code which you can type into your 3DS, and that will allow you to play with that character in the game itself and kick ass and open up new areas, etc. Now, the second thing I need to explain is that whenever I see a new concept, I always kind of approach it in two minds, sort of a yin-yang. One part of me is always very cynical, one part of me is always extremely positive. So the positive part of me is saying, well, it's aimed at younger audiences, and if I was younger, this is something I really would have done. I mean, kids already like the idea that they could actually see their action figure living and breathing in an open environment, kicking ass, saving the day, that kind of thing. You know, that would be just really entertaining for a kid at that age. But the evil part of me is kind of saying, wow, this is such a cruel move to deprive kids of their money. I mean, a 3DS is expensive enough already, but then you then throw in a 30 quid game, plus the action figures, which you know they're going to be pretty expensive on their own. And it's just a massive money-making exercise with Spyro slapped on it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna amend this. Speaking from my professional opinion on Spyro, I am not going to go anywhere near that game. The look does not fit Spyro, especially Spyro's redesign. Oh my god. You'd have to play the game to understand, but that new look does not fit his personality at all.
It's been a while since I've actually looked at that trailer. I better look it up as well. Let's see, Google Spyro new look.
Man, it just occurred to me that I kind of sound like a nostalgia whore there for a second.
Oh dear. Let's see, I'm loading up the image and... Okay, now that I've had a second look at it, I will admit the bulging eyes are not really...
That dragon looks like an axe-crazy maniac. That's not Spyro.
Oh dear. Okay, that's answered the Spyro side of his question. I'm in two minds of it. Sven's really against the new game, so...
It's mainly that look. I just think I'm not gonna be able to get into a look that makes Spyro look like a serial killer.
Trainman666, last question is,
Have you ever heard of a game for the PlayStation called Evil Zone? If you have, what are your thoughts on it, and who was your favorite character to play as?
Never heard of it. I apologize.